There is a great book out. This just happened too. October 28th, this new book came out called Alternative for the Masses: The 90s Alt Rock Revolution. And joining me now is author Greg Prato. Good morning.
Hello, good morning to you. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great. You know what this reminds me of? There was this great book in 2011. I'm sure you know about it. You kind of beat him to it with your 2009 book, Grunge is Dead. But I'm talking about Everybody Loves Our Town by Mark Yarm. And as I was going through this new book of yours, I appreciated it so much because this takes, a broader view than that one, both yours and Mark Yarm's book, of the, total impact of alt rock in the 90s, like not just Seattle, but everywhere, all the music. You've written a lot about this specific time, but I'm sure that you uncovered a lot that you still, didn't know. What were you surprised to learn, or was there anything that you came to realize, I guess, as you were putting together all these interviews?
Well, there were certain stories that some of the people told that I found to be very interesting and maybe things that I didn't know about. But really the main reason why I did this book is because it seems like there's a very common summary that people tend to do with this oh, Nirvana came out of nowhere and changed everything, and then that was pretty much it. But I'm sure me and also a lot of other alternative rock fans know that there were a lot of bands that led up to that, bands like Jane's Addiction and REM, and even bands like Living Colour and Faith No More, that definitely set the stage for Nirvana, and of course, Jane's Addiction and in 1991 Lollapalooza. So it wasn't like Nirvana just came out of nowhere. I mean, absolutely, you have to give the album Nevermind credit that was the album that totally broke down the door. But there were things leading up to that. And also another reason why I wanted to do this book is I wanted to also shine the spotlight on some of the lesser-known bands or maybe bands that have been forgotten over the years that I love just as much as Nirvana. So that was pretty much the whole reason for me doing this book.
Who was among like the most fun to talk to, or maybe was there anybody who had a surprisingly useful point of view and maybe was then featured in the book more than we might expect?
Yes, Jerry Casale from the band Devo. Now, of course, Devo is not part of the 90s alternative movement, but they were part of the late 70s, early 80s new wave movement.
Yeah.
And a lot of the alt rockers of the early 90s were huge Devo fans, like Soundgarden and Nirvana, covered Devo songs, and then also several of the alternative rock bands enlisted Jerry Casale to direct their videos. So when I was talking to him for the book, he was telling me about some memories of directing a Foo Fighters video, a Soundgarden video, and 2 videos of Silverchair. And he had some very, very good stories to share and tell about that, such as him asking Dave Grohl if one of the Foo Fighters songs was about Courtney Love, and all Dave Grohl would say was like, "You can believe what you want to believe," or something like that. He gave a very, very vague answer, but that was great. And then also, the big interview for me was with Steve Albini, the producer, produced Nirvana's In Utero and classic albums by the Pixies and PJ Harvey. I believe this was sadly his last major interview he ever did because he passed away just maybe 2 or 3 months after he did this interview. So it was definitely an honor speaking with him and hearing how he got the certain tones in the studio and mics he would use and things like that. So that was a great interview as well.
Excellent work getting his perspective. So I think one of the broader points that you get to with this book is the fact that the 90s were a time, maybe the last time, when artists really felt like they had the power to challenge everything, like the industry, the culture at large. Do you feel like we'll ever see the like again, where that point is concerned?
Absolutely. I think we will definitely see another movement at some point, but it will not sound anything like Nirvana or the Smashing Pumpkins or Soundgarden. It'll be totally unique, and it'll take a whole new group of people who are totally fed up with the predictable nature of music, and they'll try something totally unique, and they'll be fearless in speaking their mind, and they'll look and dress different, and it'll be a wondrous thing.
Indeed. He is veteran rock journalist Greg Prato. His new book, Alternative for the Masses: The 90s Alt Rock Revolution, is great, and it's out now. I've got a link up at the Mornings with Matt Pelser page in the WTTS app if you want to pick it up, and I would highly recommend it. Greg, very nice work. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for having me on.